Hi friends and welcome to Life Admin 365 and to another video in All Things Pumpkin series. I am Dipti and today I'm sharing with you my take on Maharashtrian classic Lal Bhopalacha Puria or Garge or sweet pumpkin puris. To make these puris I'm using canned pumpkin puree, which is very easy to find in supermarkets, and at this time of the year, that is in fall, it goes on sale. Pumpkin puree freezes well, so you can portion it out and freeze it or freeze any surplus that you won't be using in the next couple of days. If you're using fresh pumpkin, then you need to remove its rind and shred it in food processor or grate it using a handheld grater. Next is jaggery. I prefer to buy jaggery as a block and cut it up myself rather than buying it in its powdered form. All you need to do is scrape the block with knife and it will easily fall off. If the block is hard as a rock, then microwave it for a minute or two and it will scrape off easily. Simply run the knife over and across these scrapes to make them fine. Alternately, you can also pulse grind it a few times. So let's take a look at all the ingredients. Here I have 3.5 cups of whole wheat flour or atta and 1/4 cups of pumpkin puree. Quantity of flour will go up or down by half a cup or so. It all depends on how much you cook your pumpkin puree jaggery mixture. Towards the end, I will let you know exactly how much atta I used to knead the dough. Then I have 1/4 cups of jaggery scraped from the jaggery block. Then I have powdered cardamom, of which I will use half a teaspoon. Then there is oil for frying the puris. And then the untypical spice blend, pumpkin pie spice. This spice adds the quintessential fall flavor to these puris. Traditionally, you do not add pumpkin pie spice, but since it's fall season, I am going to make use of this spice blend. This is how I make my pumpkin pie spice blend. I take 1 tablespoon of powdered cinnamon, half a teaspoon of powdered ginger, half a teaspoon of powdered cloves, half a teaspoon of grated nutmeg, and half a teaspoon of ground allspice. Unfortunately, I forgot to show it here and is definitely needed to get that classic pumpkin pie spice flavor. The first step in the preparation is to cook pumpkin puree and jaggery. Place a pot on medium heat. To it, add pumpkin puree. I am adding 1/4 cups of pumpkin puree. Then add jaggery. I'm adding 1/4 cups of jaggery scraped from the jaggery block. Thoroughly incorporate the jaggery with pumpkin puree. This step takes about 2 to 3 minutes and requires continuous stirring and mixing. Make sure heat is on medium or medium-low. Jaggery will start melting and release its moisture. Continue to cook the mixture with intermittent mixing. As mixture continues to cook, it will start to splatter. Lower heat to medium-low or low and continue to cook the mixture for a couple more minutes. Mixture will start changing its color. From golden yellow, it will start darkening to a reddish brown, almost like cinnamon stick color. Turn off heat and let it cool to room temperature. Now it's time to add the spice blend. I'm adding half a teaspoon of powdered cardamom followed by 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Mix everything well. This is the consistency that you are looking for. Maybe a little bit thicker is okay as well. More thicker the consistency of this cooked mixture, the less whole wheat flour you will need and the more sweeter the dough will turn out to be. Now it's time to prepare the puri dough. You can add whole wheat flour to this mixture and knead it in by hand, or like me, use a dough maker. I'm using my KitchenAid stand mixer and kneading hook to make this dough. I am transferring the cooked pumpkin mixture to this mixing bowl. I'm so sorry guys for this lighting situation. I did not realize it until I had completed this step and the next few steps. I'm really sorry about that. Then I'm adding whole wheat flour or atta. I'm adding all of the 3.5 cups of atta that I had taken initially, attaching the kneading hook, bringing down its head, locking it up and kneading it at number 2 setting. We are not going to add any water for this kneading. We are adding in enough flour so that it gets kneaded well to form a nice dough. I did add another half a cup of flour. So in total I used 4 cups of atta or whole wheat flour. Now is a good time to start heating oil on low medium heat. When most of the dough has formed, add in 2 tablespoons of hot oil and knead for another minute on lowest setting. Transfer dough from the bowl to the kneading surface and knead by hand for 1 to 2 minutes to incorporate all of the surface oil in the dough and smoothen it out as well. Because the dough has jaggery in it, it is slightly on the tighter side. Pull out a small portion of this dough and knead it a few times and roll it out into a log. Pull out small pieces of dough from this log and roll them smooth. I prefer to work in small batches to keep the process manageable. Oil these pieces of dough as well as the rolling pin and the rolling surface. When making puris, we do not use flour for rolling. Therefore, oiling is needed to prevent the puris from sticking to the rolling surface. Working in batches of 8 to 10, roll out the puris and then place them in a plate. Towards the last two puris, go back to the frying oil and increase its heat from low to medium. Before frying the puris, check if oil is hot enough for frying. Test by gently dropping a tiny piece of dough in the oil. If the dough sizzles and rises up to the top quickly, then the oil is ready for frying. Add one rolled out puri in hot oil. Hold and lightly press the frying spoon over the puri. This helps in trapping air inside the puri, thereby helping the puri to puff up. Flip over the puri and fry the other side as well. Lift up the fried puri in the frying spoon and tilt it to the side of the kadhai to drain the excess oil. Transfer it to a plate lined with paper towel. Repeat the process until all the rolled out puris are fried. Most of the times the puris puff up, but occasionally there are a few that don't. It could be that there is a tiny tear or rip in the puri which causes the air to escape during the frying process. Or maybe the oil is not as hot as it was when you began the frying process. Regardless, they taste delicious. Growing up, I used to eat these along with mango pickle or lemon pickle, but my boys like to eat them plain without any pickle or ketchup or sauce. They also like to take these puris for their school lunches or eat as an afternoon snack after coming home from school. I hope you liked today's video and will add pumpkin puris to your fall menu, either as school lunch or a mid-afternoon snack. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed, and like and share this video with your family and friends. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.